Tell me a little bit about the project we did, Mateo Wave, and what it means.
Mateo Wave is a name that came to me in a dream. And since my awakening, I've been getting away from identities. But this dream came crashing over me like a wave. I couldn't resist. And it was connected with sharing music, which is my first love, and a love that has stayed with me for a lifetime. And decades of fear, resistance, and, well, mostly fear, to stay behind the wall of anonymity started to crumble. And I realized the universe, when the universe bestows you with a gift and you don't share that gift, it ends up building up inside of you like a disease, sickness. And okay, I'm listening, universe, it's time to share. Let me have a little bit of control about my image or how I'm seen. And then, sitting with more resistance. And finally, okay, authentic, I'll share it. And the message of Mateo Wave was kind of just my little kid self, who I always felt I was, who I always felt I was born to be, coming back to life, having fun, playing again. And yeah, it's coming out through music, song and storytelling, and also just sharing my heart, sharing who I am.
So you were sharing that idea that I'm going through at the moment of how does it feel to allow myself to be seen, resonated with the music video that we were filming. What does it mean for you to be seen? And where does it come from the resistance and the desire to be seen?
Yes, as a little kid, I was singing loud and dancing everywhere I went. I was a very happy little child. And I was given this voice that loved to express. It just came naturally to me to sing and to share. And then over time, you're told it's too much, it's too loud. I wasn't allowed to sing inside the house. And shame develops. And I realized even as I grew up to be an adult and became free and on my own, I carried that shame with me. I carried those rules of don't be too much, don't be too loud, don't sing too freely. And that becomes resistance, of course, that becomes fear. It's natural for us to want to be seen. It's natural for want validation from others, to be recognized in our gifts that we were given, our authentic gifts. And it's also natural to feel fear and resistance toward those gifts. And I feel like, wow, it has been a journey for me, from absolutely hating the sound of my voice when it was recorded to now embracing it and using it as this beautiful instrument to create and share. I've come a long way. It's taken a long time, but I've had a lot of growth with it. That's for sure.
That was beautiful. I think that just made it. Is there anything else that you would like to share about what it means for you to open this new chapter, and why does it feel like a new chapter if you allow yourself to be seen?
Yeah, it's still very painful. It's still painful. Like, it's hard for me to look at this because there's so many memories of like how I judged myself, how I judged my body, how I spent so much time distracting myself from pain and sadness that kept me from expressing who I was, that kept me from sharing songs that I thought were beautiful, but I kept hidden. And I'm still growing. I don't know what this is all going to become, but I know that there's a spark, there's a motivation, and I trust that intuition. Because for so many years it didn't feel safe in my body to even express at all, to be in front of a camera or to be singing in front of people. And now that I've got that back, it feels like freedom. It feels like being a kid again. And honestly, right as we sit in this chair, I'm a 4 or 5 year old, just like excited to express again, excited to be able to use my voice.
You resonate a lot. And something that I realized with this piece is that there was so much beauty in that fear, actually. Like the whole story you were talking about. It was beautiful to witness the times that you were crawling and the times that you were like feeling like you were gonna cry. Mm-hmm. And that fear became art.
Yeah. You know, you look at the history of music, the most beautiful and expansive art and music has come out of really great suffering and a great oppression and suppression. And life is a balance. You know, I don't believe in this story of the starving artist that needs to struggle in order to create something beautiful. You know, we were all born to create something beautiful just naturally. But there is a spark, there's some connection that I'm still exploring with the universe about how I've had to have multiple coming outs in my life, how I've had to wear multiple mini masks in order to feel safe, and how that has been alchemized into something beautiful, something that's worthy of crying to or listening to. And it's so funny about my music. One of the funny elements about my music is that people are often like moved to tears when I share, especially live. But when I'm sharing my music from a vulnerable place, like I'm in absolute bliss. And I'm in a completely present, blissful state. And the songs that I've written, while they might be about sad topics or elements or struggles in my life, they come out as this expression of joy. And yeah, there's beauty in that too. You know, when we cry, it's not an expression of sadness. When we cry, it's an expression of release of an emotion that's very strong. So we cry when we're feeling very happy. We cry when we're feeling very frustrated and angry. We cry when we're feeling sad, and we cry when we're feeling love. And if there's one thing I would love for people to feel when they hear my sound, it's that you're worthy of love, and you are love, and you're surrounded by love, and it has never left you. And to remember that. We spend much of our adult life forgetting. As children, we know we are love. As children, we embody love, and we love everyone, and trust that everyone loves us. And as those chains get broken, it's like we start to lose trust in ourselves. We start to forget the love we have for ourselves. And I think becoming visible is going to help me unlock some of those pieces of where I haven't loved myself. Where I've kept hidden is probably where it needs the most love infusion.
I'm excited for that journey.
It's a dual process, kind of like becoming visible and starting to love yourself. Well, the mind might say like, oh, well, I should work on my self-love, and then I'll feel glowy and like able to present myself to the world in a way that I feel good about and I feel beautiful. But it's more of a parallel path. presenting yourself to the world when you feel vulnerable and uncourageous and ugly, and then getting a reflection of love and a reflection of acceptance. And people telling you, you know, you look beautiful.
They look at you.
That can be part of the process too. It's like an unfolding, the inner and the outer together.
Yeah. Esther Perel talks about relational things, relational like traumas or like unresolved beliefs. They are hard to do them themselves, and they don't make any sense to do it themselves. All this whole idea of self-love and self-care and self-growth, she says that it limits us from being humans, that it's a relational creature, that in order for believing that it's safe to express yourself, like you have to check if it's actually real or not. Once you allow, and then it's that constant play, then it becomes to be real. But if not, to say like, I need to like work on myself for that belief to be changed. If it's not coming from a real experience, it's really hard to change, and it doesn't make sense. As humans, as animals, we need to experience in order to believe.
Yeah, and it's a wild dance, this life. Because yes, I can point to practices I do every morning of loving myself and affirmations and shaking my body and dancing and looking myself in the mirror. But you can also get stuck in those practices. And we live in this like reality, some of us live in this reality where self-improvement is like expected. And if you're not getting better or learning something new or pushing yourself, then you're not making progress. But you know what? 50% of life is about contraction too, not just expansion. So yes, go out there, do that thing, express yourself. But when your body's telling you to hide, to cocoon, to go back inside, to shrink, I believe we can trust that too. We can trust that instinct. And for instance, me in the last 5 years, I've almost, haven't been seen online at all.
Because you were an actor in Hollywood.
I was an actor in Hollywood. I was doing red carpets. I was going to auditions. I was on stage almost every night of the week, doing something, doing improv comedy. I was making people laugh, very self-deprecating, very sarcastic. And then, I just had this explosion of expression with very little self-reflection. And in that time, I know that I caused a lot of harm as well. Because although I was expressing from an authentic place, it was also a very dark place. I was expressing from a lot of childhood trauma, judging people, putting them down, putting myself down, using anger and tragedy as comic relief. Calling myself an idiot, saying I wasn't worthy, and okay, I've contracted, I've self-reflected, I've got a lot of practices now, I know how to ground, I know how to feel into my heart, I know how to feel if I'm out of balance, and I can come back and, okay, let's do this again. I'm gonna make all the same mistakes, have all the same expressions of singing and dancing and telling jokes, but this time I'm gonna do it with a little more balance and a lot more self-awareness. And it's never ending, Just because I'm doing this now doesn't mean it's right. It's just, that's where I'm at right now. It's true for me right now. And in 10 years, it'll probably be super embarrassing. And I'll do something else. Well, I know for a fact that I will at least be loving myself when I look back. That's something I didn't do before. When I ran away from home and ran to Hollywood to be a star, or whatever I was doing, I told myself, I'm never going to look back. I'm never going to look back. I never have to be a kid again. I don't have to relive those years, and I'm glad that I don't have to be in contact with my family anymore, or think about my hometown, or think about what I went through. And it was all a lie, because eventually it all came up and came back around. Eventually I did have to go home and attend my brother's funeral and see every single one of my family members and look at them in the eye and tell them, this is who I am now. There's no leaving your past. Your past is with you. You carry your whole life with you right now in this moment, your past and your future. And if you're not pouring love into it, if you're not pouring forgiveness into all the mistakes that you made as a kid, and the people you angered, and the things you stole, and the ways you lied, and the things you cheated on, if you're not pouring love into that, there's a good chance you're not going to feel whole yet. So on my journey to wholeness, just pouring more love into who I will become, and more love into who I am now. I'm so grateful for who I am now. But I'm also super grateful for all that shit that I did growing up. I was always me, I was always perfect. I was just handed a deck of cards with a lot of challenge and a lot of twisted programming. Grateful to be alive.
This is beautiful. I'm really grateful of seeing this man. And I think it's a beautiful man.
Me too.
Anything else you want to share with the world? Do you feel complete?
I feel, just feel into my heart for a moment. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for showing your heart and allowing others to bear their heart as well. It's definitely the track we're on to growing more love in the world, to experiencing more peace in the world, and to just evolving our consciousness and having a kick-ass experience of this reality. Much gratitude.